One of my sons was telling me yesterday, the church bought a land in a particular location, paid for 280 million. And the man that sold the land said, you will not build this place. So tell them that you lease it. He looked at him and said, you're lying. By the time they were going to get the foundation, the fence, they found a pot with a baby's head. He took the sand in Canaan land. He came and took the sand here and put on it. The man went down. He's dead. Life story. Life story. Life story. You see how wicked people can be? You sold the land, you collected the money, and they must not build it up. It's off. 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 Some folks gathered in our old church to kill this man. And I'm so easy to kill because I don't go from the office on time. I leave the office at 1 o'clock, 1:30 a.m. So to kill me was very simple. One came and said he would sponsor the operation. He had money. God, I had no idea. God of vengeance stepped in. The man that chaired the meeting, his first son, my head, fell down and died. 2 days after, his second son, my head, meeting scattered. God will scatter every gang up of hell. One of them disappeared into the thin air. Can't tell where he was. The other one found himself in prison. And you know what? We bought some of his properties without knowing what happened. He's the one in prison who told the story when he met one of our people in the prison ministry. What happened to them? Now, hear this. Evil will strike in the camp of your enemy. All that wish you or your children dead will die in your place. All that are after a life of struggle for you will go into an ending struggle in their life. But you are walking into liberty today.
Some of you accuse us of giving people a license to sin, but in your own denomination, some of you, I'm aware that some of your pastors teamed up and poisoned the GO of that church. Even while they were sitting under your hot holiness teachings, they were able to gang up and give you poison. And you say we are teaching people to sin? Some of you in your churches, your pastors are married to 2 wives under your holiness teachings. Is it our teachings they help to marry 2 wives and still be pastoring your churches? In Christianity, we do not preach sinless perfection. We preach Christ's perfection. Christ is more than enough.
There is nothing fun more than hearing men of God tell their stories. And to be honest, I personally believe that these stories they have been telling is something they've done for far too long. In fact, they have been doing it for many, many years now. And this has helped them build a huge following. You know, one of the best ways to get people into your circle is to be a good storyteller. And that is why people are so in love with movies and novels, because they are all stories. People love stories. People love when you paint them a bright future. People love a happy ending. When you tell them that even though your life isn't as glamorous as it is now, do not worry. God is looking out for you, and within a couple of years, everything will be super, super flashy. People like it when you tell them that even though things are rough at the moment, they can always get better with just a little devotion to God. Things will change for the better. People love it when you tell them like that. Everyone loves a better tomorrow. Everyone. So men of God have realized this, and they have spared no effort to use it to the fullest. They will come to the altar, to the pulpit, and paint an excellent future of their members with God at the center of it. And they will tell the members, with God, everything is possible. They will say so. And their members will shout, hallelujah. And they will use themselves as practical examples. They will say, my life was never like this. My life was never as shining as it is now. I have toiled, I have suffered. You need to look at me 20 years ago when I was struggling. But I came to God, and God came through for me. God saw my devotion. God saw my dedication. And God saw my consistency. And God came through for me. If God can do it for me, why not you, my brothers and sisters? If God can do it for me, what about you? This is the story they will paint, and everyone will fall for it. Everyone. But they will never tell you that the reason they are successful is not because they prayed. It's not because they fast. It is because they collected money from you guys and invested in other businesses. The reason they are successful is because they guilt you guys into paying tithe, into sowing seed. They coerce you guys into doing all this. And they use the proceeds to invest in other businesses. And that is why they are super, super successful. Do you know how many investment does a man of God like Bishop Oyedepo have? Do you know? All the schools he has built, all the real estate he has acquired. Do you think it is God that put the money in his pocket? No, it is not. You guys contributed to it. You guys funded one project or another. That was what happened. So you have to be smart to understand that praying and fasting and believing in all these people won't cut it, won't do it. Because that's not how people build word. And they know, the men of God, they know. And this is the thing that gets me angry with them, is that they know, but they choose to paint a picture of prosperity with God. That is, they chose to do it that way. It was all a matter of choice. They chose to do it that way. So, you guys must all understand this. And secondly, when they tell stories, right, they never tell you the full story. They make it in such a way that you can never ever fact check it. For example, they bought the land, yes, but from where? We don't know. From which area? No one knows. Okay, the owner who sold the land wanted to double cross them. He doesn't want them to develop the land. He wants to collect the land from them after selling it and taking their money. Okay, good and fine. And they went there and saw a pot with a baby's head in it, buried in that land. When they saw it, what did they do? Did they call the police? Because that's what they should have done, right? If you saw something like that with a baby's head in it, what you do is call the police to carry out an investigation. Did they do that? He did not mention. I'm guessing they didn't do, because this was a spiritual matter and God had to handle it by himself. Well, each to theirs, right? So they came to this headquarters of their church, took some soil, went to that piece of land, dropped it there, and the person who stopped them from developing their land dropped dead. He died, which means that God kills the person, right? So now, God is your assassin. God is someone you can command to do things. And your God is not all forgiving. Your God is not all knowing. And your God kills whoever came after you or whoever does something that you don't like, right? So for example, if I do something to you, if I say something that you don't like, or if I stop you from doing something, your God will drop me down, isn't it?